Okay, guys, we are going to very quickly look at the odd numbers on this, and then you're going to complete the even numbers. On a map of North Carolina, 27 represents 18 miles. 27 centimeters represents 18 miles. Based on the map, what equation would calculate the number of miles between two cities when the measure X centimeters apart? So we've got to kind of pick this apart a little bit. Notice in your answer choices that they're asking you for the equation. So we know we're going to be looking for, this is going to be y equals kx. We need the equation y equals kx. But in order to get that equation, we've got to use the ratio k equals y over x. Okay? We got to use this ratio to be able to put this k back over here in that equation. So, look at what this says. We have 27 centimeters. Give me some colors right here. 27 centimeters. And down here it tells us they measure x centimeters apart. So our centimeters right there, this is x. That told us that. Okay? And then we have 18 miles, and it tells us miles is y. So this 18 is y. Now we have to write that y over x. So we've got to write that 18 over 27. 18 is y, 27 was x. So that is our k. 18 over 27 equals k. Now that will simplify. That will simplify. 18 over 27 simplifies to 2/3. So 18 over 27 is 2/3. So now we're going to take that k and put it back in our equation. So y equals 2/3 x, which is a. I gotta say, excuse me, excuse me. All right, sorry about that. What is the constant of proportionality for the graph on the right? The constant of proportionality, if you go back to your ways to say k, circle map, constant of proportionality is k. And k is y over x. So what we've got to do here is get us a point off this graph. All right, so I got to get me a point off this graph. Well, I'm going to do this point right here. And you see the points on there. And I told you that normally when we plot a point on a graph, if I wanted to put that point on the graph, I would go x, y. I would go left to -2 and up to +2. But to get this off the graph for my equation, I've got to go yx. So I'm going to come right here to +2. I'm going to draw me a corner. Draw that corner. +2 down to -2. And so that's 2 over -2, which is equal to -1. Okay? I could do the same thing. I could do another point. If I did this point, I would start it, I would go from here to here, and it would be -2 over 2. No matter which one I use, I get -1, because -2 over 2, if I put that in my calculator, -2 over 2 is -1, or 2 over -2 is -1. You see, look at that. Let's do that again. 2 over -2 is -1. Look at that. Or -2 over 2 is -1. Make sure when you're using the negative, you're using this negative symbol right here. Okay, that's your negative, not the minus sign. So either one of those is -1. So k equals negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. And negative 1 would be your constant of proportionality. Okay? Which equation shows the relationship between x and y? Well, to get my equation, I've first got to get my ratio, k equals y over x. And I'm just going to use this right here, this first set of points. I don't have to do anything fancy. So k equals, I've got to write y is negative 8. X is negative 2. Negative 8 over negative 2, if you put that in your calculator, just to check yourself, negative 8 over negative 2 is a positive 4. So k equals a positive 4. Now, to write that in my equation, y equals kx, that 4 right there has to substitute for k. So y equals 4x. All right, number 7. Which equation could be represented in the data table? So again, well, look at these equations for a minute. I know my equation has to be y equals kx, right? It cannot be addition. It cannot be addition. So that can't be A. It can't be B. Up here on number 5, it couldn't have been C because it's addition. It couldn't have been D because it's subtraction. A and B were the only two equations that it could have possibly been, and so it was A. So down here, C and D are the only two it could possibly be. So now we've just got to figure out which one it is. And the way we do that, we're going to do k equals y over x. Y is negative 6.5. X is 2. So we come right here and we say negative 6.5 over 2 is negative 3.25. So k here is negative 3.25. So our y equals kx. We're going to take that negative 3.25, put it right there for k. Y equals negative 3.25x. So the answer is C. All right. So you do the evens, flip it over, and do this side.